All right. So I wanted to hop on here. So we just got off a live call. I wanted to kind of explain what happened on this call. So this was the call from before with the red personality seller, very passionate about the property. She's got big dreams. She wants to start a business and she wanted to use the money for the sale of the property to fund the business. So this is a call. I actually have like maybe one or two other calls with this lady that are already posted on my page. So I wanted to make a quick video because like people ask me like, well, what happens like if they just won't go down on the price, right? Because here's the reality of it. Look, that's going to be most people. And when I say most, right? If you close 1 out of 10, that means 9 out of 10 people are not going to be a fit. Okay, so this is what I do. I can explain my philosophy and it's worked really well. Okay, in the beginning of the call, I don't judge them at all. Whether they say they want $1 million for it or whatever is no friction. I'm just trying to gather the information. That's why we call it the discovery phase. It's not the time for negotiation or pushback. We just try to discover all the issues with the house, with the seller situation, with their timeline, with everything that's going on. We want to gather as much information as we possibly can. So I purposely keep that little to no friction. There's no pushback. There's no any sort of sales technique, anything other than getting them to feel comfortable, demonstrate that we're professional, we're good people, we believe in the golden rule, and we really want to come to a solution, right? So there's no negotiation, no pushback. Now, when I find out the price is too high, right? And I have the full situation of what's going on with the seller, this is where we use the anchor phase. Okay, so this is phase 2 in the Rainmaker process. So the anchor phase is basically where we introduce the seller and their expectations to the reality of what's going on in the market. Okay, so basically when their price is too high, we now have to introduce reality, which is lower comps, repairs, difference in condition, difference in areas where we're going through and we're resetting the frame to what properties are actually selling for in the area. And then now we're putting the seller in the position where they need to try to justify their position to us. So it's like the book never split the difference. Okay. The key is you're not trying to convince your counterpart. You're laying out the rules in the game and your counterpart has to try to convince you of their position. Okay, so we hit them with everything we got, right? We hit them with the low comps. We hit them with low ranges. We hit them with the rebuttals, with everything, where we're building the healthy tension. Now, we're positioning it not from the point of trying to prove them wrong, right? Where it's like, hey, look, you don't really know what you're doing. We position it from the point that, hey, look, there's a third-party decision maker. They use a standardized process, just like banks and lenders. Okay, and they're looking at recently sold properties. I'm taking a quick peek in the area and then boom, we start naming the comps. So with this gal, I went through all that. I'm naming low comps. She was pushing back and fighting. So at the end of the day, she originally wanted 154. Okay, then that was after the first conversation. Then she got all hyped up and then she wanted 189. Okay. We took another look at this property just to make sure we weren't missing anything. We're thinking it'll probably sell between 140 and 150 on the market, maybe 155. So her 189 number is already like 30 grand over retail. She thinks it's in great condition. It's really not. It's not remodeled. It's not clean. It's got issues, right? Maybe not any, mechanical issues that we know of, but it definitely has cosmetic issues. It is dated, right? So took her through the whole negotiation process and then come to find out, look, dude, we got to be at like 110, 115. So I called her back and basically just let her know where we were at. I didn't try to go hard on the push and the pitch because I knew we were too far away. Okay. And it's not the best use of my time. It's not the best use of her time. Her expectations are just way too far. So basically the long story short is this. First, don't overqualify your sellers in the beginning. Okay, some of my fat deals are ones that originally they want way too much. Okay, and then we take them through the discovery phase, the anchor phase, and the delivery phase, and we get them on board, right? Because their initial number wasn't a real number that they believed in. They were just throwing shit out there. Okay, and our numbers are all backed by facts and logic. Okay, so that's the key that we have, is we're justifying our numbers with actual data and a systematized process, and it all makes sense and is logical. Their numbers just what they happen to want. Okay, so that's the key, is you use the facts and the data and you run them through the whole situation, the whole system. And if you get to the end and they're just not flexible, you shoot every bullet that you can at them, and then you have to either just leave it and circle back around, or you have to move on. But what I've found is a lot of people, they underestimate how much activity you have to do. And you do have to fight hard when you're in the anchor phase. Throw everything you got at them. But it's just, the reality is, look, if you close 1 out of 10, 9 out of 10 people are going to say no. And a lot of people waste time with people that are willing to talk to them, but they're not that motivated to actually sell the property. And that's what you have to be careful with, because especially if you're calling landlords and stuff, a lot of these people are old and they got a lot of time on their hands. And they're willing to talk to you left and right, but they don't actually have a motivation to sell the property. They're willing to think about it and consider it. But look, you don't want to spend a lot of time with those. You constantly want to be looking for opportunities and problems to solve. So yeah, throw everything you got at them. And if it doesn't work, set it up to circle back and follow up, or move on. So that's my 2 cents. Keep prospecting. What software do you recommend to start wholesaling? My recommendation for new wholesalers is work for a successful wholesaler. So as far as software that you use, you need to pull, if you're going to cold call, pull a list, batch leads, PropStream. There's lots of places to pull lists. I think for almost everybody, unless you just have a bunch of cash saved up, which I didn't when I started. If you got a bunch of cash saved up, then I would recommend getting a mentor to teach you the ropes. A good mentor that has references, not some random person, right? Do due diligence on them. But that's what I would do, or I would work for someone. Because trying to do it on your own, you're going to waste a lot of time. You can work for someone else and learn faster, make money right away, and actually learn how to run a legit business and not just how to, flip the houses. Follow up. Yep, that's right. Creative closer uses deal check. Yeah, don't overqualify early. It's true. It's true. Cool. Well, awesome, y'all. Look, I'm going to hop off on here. So next week, real quick, in the Rainmaker private training group, next week on Tuesday, we've got the legend, David Olds. Okay, he's done thousands of deals, owns hundreds of properties. He's also the owner of Easy REI Closings. They do Novation transaction coordination. They do sub 2. They do wholesale. I've hired them to do my deals. It's made my life a lot easier. But for all the Rainmaker course members, he's going to be answering all title questions, novation, wholesale, anything having to do with title. If you've got scary deals, divorce situations, affidavits of heirship, death in the family, all the crazy stuff, they handle all that. So if you have questions, next Tuesday at 8 a.m. in our private group, check that out. If you haven't joined the course yet, I'm just giving you a warning. I have a bunch of new content I'm going to be releasing, and I have a whole new webpage. The price is going to be going up. I hate to say it, but I'm adding a lot of stuff in there. Anybody that's already in the course, you automatically get grandfathered into new upgrades. And if you haven't joined the course yet, the price has stayed the same, but it is going to be going up. It's, probably in a week or two, maybe a little bit longer, but tap in, get on the payment plan if you haven't yet. Definitely check it out. Or, if you want to work, novationjv.com. Let's do a deal together. You don't have to give me any money. Okay, we'll create money from a dead lead and we'll share it. We'll eat together. So yeah, tap in. I'm gonna see y'all.